Okay, so next up we're going to have a look at the little test for carbonates. It's quite a straightforward test, and I'm going to show you how you could do this on both a powder and with a solution that's a carbonate. We'll start off with a powder here. So what I'm going to do is just transfer some of the powder to this little dish so you can observe clearly what happens in this test. Okay, so I suspect something to be a carbonate. How could I confirm whether or not it's a carbonate? Well, I could add acid to it. So I've got a solid here that's a powder. Okay, it's a lovely, beautiful green powder, actually. Let's have a look at it. So there we go. So I've got this solid here, which is a powder. And if it is, in fact, a carbonate, then what will happen is as we add acid to it, it will effervesce, because carbonates break down and produce carbon dioxide when they are neutralized by acids. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hydrochloric acid here. I'm going to use a pipette to add transfer some hydrochloric acid onto my suspected carbonate. And if it is in fact a carbonate, you'll see effervescence of carbon dioxide. So let's have a little look to see what happens. Here we go. You can see little bubbles come off as it touches it there. That's effervescence of carbon dioxide. Let's really go for it now. And there you go. You can see that carbon dioxide is being produced as it reacts, as the acid reacts with the carbonate. It's actually a neutralization reaction, this, by the way. Okay, so I'm getting effervescence of carbon dioxide. You can tell then when all the acid's neutralized because the effervescence suddenly stops, but there's still enough of that carbonate left over not to neutralize all the acid yet. Tell you what, I'm really going to go for it. I'm going to pour it in, see what happens. That's carbon dioxide effervescing off of that, which tells us we've got a carbonate. Now I could bubble that gas through lime water, and if the lime water turned from colourless to cloudy, then that would indicate to us, that would tell us that that is definitely carbon dioxide. Okay, I'll get a different pipette now because I've definitely contaminated this one. Just try and neutralise all of that. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's have a look if, for example, like the solution we've got back here, your carbonate, rather than being a powder, is a solution. Okay, so I've got a solution here, which we suspect to be a carbonate. Well, the test is exactly the same, except I'm just going to need to put it in some kind of vessel. So I'm going to take a test tube here. I'm going to transfer a little bit of my suspected carbonate solution to the test tube. A little bit more. There we go. A little bit of spillage. Never mind. And I'm going to add some acid again. And if we observe effervescence, then we know we're looking at a carbonate. And there we go.